I think what defines the entrepreneur, the successful person, is not that they went to college and did it that way, or not that they didn't do that and they went to Thailand instead and worked in coffee shops for 5 years, but that they have sort of an inner grit, that they just know what they want. They're going to go out there and get it, and they'll do what it takes. If they need an engineering degree to figure out how to build a space rocket, well, they go and do that. If they could just go to the library and read books about it for 5 years, well, they'll do that. They'll just do whatever it takes. So to me, it's not about school. It's not about whether you go or don't go, because, like I said, it's not a black and white question. It's how do you have that grit? Are you willing to make that decision and commitment to get there, whatever it takes, do whatever it takes? It's easy to get carried away thinking that this whole lifestyle thing is it's so good to work in coffee shops, and then you realize that there's a reason why people have offices, and there's a reason people have that routine. And so for me, I'm finding that when I go to work in the same place every day, and when I have that routine, that's where I'm going to be most productive, and somewhere where I'm not going to get so distracted. So in 2010, I was drinking, partying. I mean, for the few years up until that point, I got caught into this very much a party boy phase, and I loved it. But around February 2010, I realized that at the start of 2010, I was not happy. And I sat down, wrote down, I need to make some changes. So I stopped drinking, stopped smoking, and start meditating. And so it was February, stopped drinking and started meditating. And every morning I'd wake up and I got some books on Zen meditation, and I'd spend 10 minutes every morning meditating. And I think that was the start of it. That was really the shift. And to be honest, for the rest of the year, I still went back and forth between those two, you might say, self-images or identities that I had. This new, more productive self where I was going somewhere, and this party boy. But that was where it started. That was the shift. I think my greatest achievement is that I transitioned from that life I'm from Sydney, Australia, so I had that office lifestyle. I come from a working class family. No one's really in business. But to make that transition from being an employee, being a working class man, to going and having a business, and now, I mean, we're in a 5-star hotel room in Bangkok, Thailand, and I live in Chiang Mai, and I've got this business where I can travel and live anywhere in the world. That, to me, at this point, would be the best achievement. To get to that lifestyle faster, I would, number one, I would start a podcast. I would go and interview, probably just what I've done right now, because I have a skill set with marketing. So I'd go and interview marketing experts, exactly what the podcast I've got right now, the best marketing guys in the world. I would have I have probably several things to sell them, so a couple different services to the listeners, and I would drive people in that podcast to my website, to an email list. So I'm building an asset, because that email list is something I can email and say, hey, buy this, buy that. And that would, to me, that would get me to where I am right now in like a quarter of the time. I think 1 year ago, I was doing some marketing stuff. I was doing some e-commerce stuff, some supplement stuff. I was trying to go in this, just several different directions. And I'm not sure what triggered it, but at some point I realized that I had this opportunistic mindset. I don't know why. I didn't read it in a book. But I realized that I was placing so much focus on the idea as opposed to my ability to execute on the idea. It was probably, maybe I was going for a walk. It was like I realized it, It was one of those things that pops into my head. I think about, oh yeah, that's really true. I need to focus down. And so what I did, I was like, well, all right, well, I'll stop doing the e-commerce thing. I'll stop doing the supplement thing. I killed a business partnership that I had. Well, ended it basically. And decided I'm going to focus 100% on this, because if this one thing can hit my goals, business goals, personal goals, all that stuff, then why do I need to have 6 different things? Because all I'm doing is diluting my focus. So for me, it was, realizing that I wasn't focused, and then just cutting out basically everything except one thing that I was just going to focus on.